Hey guys, guten Abend aus Deutschland, good evening from Germany. I've been getting a whole bunch of inquiries to continue doing reactions to Chantal, but you guys know I can't stand her. Just the fact alone that she has now begun, I don't know, since she got back from Thailand or whatever, to look at the viewfinder just like Amber, it's one of my pet peeves. When I see people on the internet look at the viewfinder and talk to themselves, it's like I don't want to be there. It's like watching somebody talk to themselves in the mirror, and you're thinking, yeah, maybe I should give them some space, and let them do their thing. I just don't feel it's right. Either you look at your audience or you just don't turn the camera on. And she's been doing that. And everything she's been doing on her channel lately is just it's just cringy. It's just for the a Christmas coin. You can tell, to rake in that holiday money, which she's not gonna do, and neither is Amber, because they don't pull the masses the way they used to, because now everybody knows what kind of people they are. And they just have no shame, no grace, nothing like that. You look at the thumbnails, the last few ones from what, like a week ago, one meal a day and weigh in, and then the sizes of those meals, holy shit. I get physically sick just looking at it, and then you see how she barely chews. I just can't. And I'm that woman. I didn't watch that 4 course keto low carb mukbang. I don't know about that. And you guys are gonna freak out. I believe was when she announced that she's gonna do a water fast, which she never lasted at. And roasted chicken and mashed potatoes with gravy. She is disgusting when she eats. And then she says in one of the videos, I think it was in the one I have diabetes, she says that she eats unconsciously. She just eats amounts of food that she's not aware of, and she doesn't chew, and she's still not aware. She is still not. She just shovels in the food. There's food stuck on her chin that she doesn't even feel anymore because of her diabetes. She probably has nerve damage, and the diabetic grocery haul. I just can't. But I just saw that she posted, I have some important things to say. And then in the thumbnail it said, my past is dead and buried. I absolutely disagree. And that's why she's going to get a reaction from me, which she's probably counting on. And I'm going to buy it, whatever. And so let's see what she has to say in that one. But I'm cutting off the intro and the cameo advertisement because, no. Absolutely not.
Hi guys!
What is up, Chantal?
Welcome back to another video. So,
Wow, did she just actually look at the camera and not at the viewfinder? That's new.
I just invented a little mini series right now.
No, I was wrong. Sorry.
This might be the only episode, we'll see. You know how I am. But I basically wanted to talk about, it's called Tea Talk. At least this one episode is. And I'm just going to have some tea and talk about things that are on my mind, use you guys as kind of a diary and just talk about stuff that's on my mind and my
Okay, hit me.
life and things that I want to talk about, So today is going to be a subject about, I guess, a comment that really makes me reflect, that I see a lot. And the comment is, and I've seen it many, many times, and I still get this, and it's that we miss the old Foodie Beauty. People go through different phases of life. They go through growth. A human being is
Most people do, but you and Amber most definitely do not.
supposed to grow as a person, and the past we're supposed to learn from it and take what we need and leave the rest behind.
Hmm. That's yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that's what I'm wondering why. Well, it's hard to say in her case. I mean, she's changing things, but not for the better. I don't know how they do that. Amber is scared of any change, period, and Chantal keeps changing things for the worse.
You know, now for me, a lot of my past in the past couple of years, past few years even, is completely dead to me. Like and I've realized this, I've had to grieve it. I've gone through a lot of grief, I've gone through a lot of processing, and for me, I think I've gone through a lot of self-growth. And
I don't know about that. And plus, these two ladies are constantly lying. What I see, though, is her past cannot be dead to her audience because she documented it all. She was being a pig. She farted, she sharted, she burped. Um, she did all kinds of despicable things on her channel, and they got her the views, and she went to the bank and cashed that check. And so she has to live with the fact that even the videos that she deleted and the community tab postings that she deleted and the live streams, they're all still out there, and they're all part of the picture people have of her, the impression that people have of her. And so I'm happy for her that she can just move on and that her past is dead to her. But as an online persona, she's going to have to live with the fact that she put these things on the internet. She said these things, she did these things, she treated herself like an animal, and she kept growing in size, and that is all documented on the internet. And that's where it's going to stay. You can't just erase it. If she had lived a life that is, I don't know, not so much on the up and up, and she would tell us about it, it's a different thing. But she documented it all, and she monetized it, clickbaited it, and raked in the money. And so that is the price she had to pay. It wasn't just the money that she made from these videos, but also that she ruined her reputation just like Amber did.
maybe I don't discuss that enough online, so I don't mind talking more about certain subjects like that. But today I'm going to focus more on, I could talk about different areas of my life where I have grown and have improved, but
I just I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt her that much, but it really triggers me when they talk about how they've moved on and we have not. She says she's moved on, but she says, like I said earlier, she says that she's not aware of how much food she eats or how fast she eats or how little she chews, but then in the next video she does it again. And so there's no growth. It's absolute dumb to say that she has grown. I don't know what she means. Or when she says now she's a revert Muslim, I believe her because I couldn't care less. But how does a Muslim woman that is supposed to be humble and gracious and all these other things, how can she sit on the floor? Is not the problem because a lot of cultures do, but she sits on the floor with her legs spread apart, with her fupa and her belly resting on the floor probably. I doubt that they're resting on her thighs, and she shovels in the food to where her garment is dirty because she pours sauce over it. She smears food all over her face, and she even stabs herself in the face from being so greedy to shovel that food in. And that clip I'm going to show you here because it disgusted me so much. How can somebody be so self-unaware when they're eating that they stab themselves in the mouth? How does that happen? I do not understand. And somebody that's that self-unaware, that keeps talking about how they changed and how they're a different person now. I get that she doesn't do drugs anymore, maybe she doesn't drink alcohol anymore, maybe she doesn't drive under the influence anymore. I get all of that. She's made a lot of changes. Um, but from where I stand, she's still a pig that lies and that clickbaits and that monetizes her food addiction and her lack of willpower and self restraint and self control. And so I don't like the TED Talks from Amber and her.
I, um, other than my weight issue, literally, um, that, I talk ad nauseum about that. That's evident because that's a problem on the outside that's very visible.
Yeah, okay, but you, just like Amber, keep talking about how you're gonna change things and how you're gonna have to drink more water, eat less food, and move more. The same statements over and over again, just to sit your ass down and shovel more food in that mouth. And I do not understand. Be the glutton that you are, have the bad personality that you have, but don't pretend to be a good person. Don't pretend to be somebody that's dainty, because neither you nor Amber are taking dainty bites. You stuff your faces all day long, just to continue gaining weight. And so the lying on your channels is gonna have to stop. Otherwise, you look at your views, girl. I mean, come on. Smell the coffee.
But internal issues that you can't see, that I'm comfortable with talking about now. I don't mind. So
Oh, because it's for the holiday coin. I get it. I get it. You get your bag.
I think that the me that you guys miss, I don't think that was the real me. So I've done some reflection on that, and I was thinking, like, am I fake? Like, what is the real me? Because I'm still discovering who I am in a lot of ways.
Watch how Amber's gonna talk about that in one of her next vlogs.
But I have done a lot of that self-discovery. I have to say, I think that the Foodie Beauty you're missing, in a lot of ways, was a Foodie Beauty that was meant to entertain you. That was a kind of a persona.
Okay, I get that. And Amber says that Amber Lynn is a persona that she portrays on her channel and that she trolls a lot. And people need to learn how to see the difference when she's trolling or when she's being herself. Absolutely not. That is not our job. You guys portray something on your channels, and that is you, and it makes no difference if you now identify with it or not, or if you were intoxicated at the time and do no longer stand behind what you said. You said these things, you did these things, they're all part of your persona. You can forgive yourself, you can move on, you can no longer do them, but it's still a part of your persona. And unless you completely delete your channel and start over and say, okay, this is whatever, and even change your name, and then no longer behave that way, uh, that's like the only way you could make like a cut. But you can't have the same channel and monetize all these things and then say, oh, oops, that's no longer me.
Now, not all of it, not all of it. I do have a very silly side, and that still does come out once in a while. But I find that it's not natural as it was. A lot of the time,
Well, you can no longer do that, like if you claim to be married to Salah and he wouldn't approve of it, so you can no longer do these things. It's not like you've chosen not to do them anymore, you can no longer do them. Or there are certain things that you can't do in Kuwait that are permitted in Canada, and so miss me with that right now.
dancing around, acting silly, all these things. I really
Yeah, and the OnlyFans clips that showed up on the internet, it's disgusting, and that is you. You might no longer do these things, but you need to own up to them and say I did them. You know, you can't just say my past is dead. It's not dead because you chose to monetize it.
I really did it just to have fun and entertain you guys. But now I feel like older. Like I really feel that in the past year I've matured a lot.
I don't see that.
In a lot of ways. And
In what ways?
I think I've learned a lot of hard lessons about life.
Like what?
And like I said, I've had to grieve my past.
Okay, see, they're always being vague because they're just throwing out words without any meaning behind them. Okay.
My cup kind of matches.
Yeah, non-content again, or what is it called? Filler content, padding the video so that she makes it to, how long is this one? 19 minutes, 43 seconds. And so, yeah, I guess these two girls think the longer the videos are, the more ads they could put in is the only reason I can come up with.
I've had to kind of grieve a lot of things. And that made my trip back to Canada the last time I was there very hard.
Okay, like what? Can you give examples or can you just be vague?
My life in Canada was in shambles. And I think a lot of people forget that. I think that that was very entertaining for you guys. Some people found me entertaining. They found me silly. They found me open. I would talk about everything. You know, nothing was private for me. Nothing was sacred. I just let everything out. And, I've said this before, but I repeat myself. There's a lot of value in not telling everyone what's going on in your life. The only people
Exactly, but that is a lesson you had to learn the hard way.
that really need to know are people who are actually really close to me in life. And I like it that way. I like my valued privacy that I didn't have before. And I think that's one thing that you guys miss, obviously, is is not being so private. Because
That might be true. I'm not one of her fans, but in some reactions that I do watch, I see that people miss the old Chantal, and they're emotionally invested, and I get all of that. But at the same time, if she wants to drastically change her life like that, which I don't see that many changes besides how she dresses, I still see the same Chantal, only she can't do certain things because she's married to that Syrian man, right? And she lives in Kuwait. And she has to live with the fact that now her views are going down because people find her boring, or they call her a hypocrite, and plus she still lies like she did before. And I'm not sure if the Muslim belief really approves of that, lying that much. Like, oh, I'm going to do a water fast. Oh, psych, I'm not. And, or this is just one meal a day. And so she still has a trough in front of her, shoveling in the food without any self-awareness. And I'm not sure if that is so attractive in Kuwait or when you're a Muslim. And yeah.
because it was entertaining. There was always tea, there was always drama in my life, there was always something going on that people had to just, people. I remember hearing reactors say, we literally have to, like, it's interrupting our lives. There's so much going on. We have to get up in the middle of the night when Foodie Beauty goes live, because I would just go live at impromptu times. And just literally wake up, go live, and take you everywhere with me, and
Yeah, I can see that where that was more fun for her, fans, for her audience.
there was a lot of, I was like invading my own privacy by doing that in a lot of ways,
And you raked in the money for it.
I was never one to really air my relationships online. I was
What? I don't understand.
very private, and I still am now with my husband and I.
That in case you do have a relationship with that Syrian man, you have zero chemistry with him, by the way. And he touches you like maybe a brother would, I don't know, or a stranger. It always looks fake, but you talked about every relationship you had prior to that. Into detail, I mean,
Um, But being involved with somebody who's abusive, that was a different story. That I had no problem airing everything out. I think that those instances should definitely be exposed.
Huh? I watched so many videos where she was talking about men that she had found on dating apps that she just willy-nilly met. Or am I mistaken here?
You know, but that was my situation when I was in Canada. I was involved with somebody, I was involved in a very toxic, narcissistic, abusive situation that, alhamdulillah, I'm so thankful to be out of. I was starting to believe in God, but the most of my time in Canada, I wasn't religious. And,
well, neither you nor Amber could possibly be, because the both of you represent the 7 deadly sins. And those are, I believe, they should be universal, you know, not bound to any one religion.
I would just be consuming, ordering large, you know, box mountain. I had heaps of boxes in my home because I was just ordering stuff I didn't need. It caused me to get into a lot of financial debt because I would just waste money like it was water. Like it actually, I had to grieve that. That's one of the biggest things I had to grieve, was how irresponsible I've been financially.
Just like Amber. They both have nothing to show for selling their reputation down the river.
And, you know, I'm still...
Except for the, you know, larger bodies that they have now.
Cleaning that up. And it might take a while, you know, but not doing it on my own is so much better. Like, and not having someone in my life who was also taking advantage of me and using me financially. You know, somebody who couldn't pay their rent, so I would help them with rent a few times. Somebody couldn't even pay their own cigarettes. I would buy them like cigarettes. Like that adds up. In Canada, cigarettes expensive. Stuff like that, you know, like you know, somebody would say they needed money for like work uniform or something, like work equipment, and they would use it to gamble or buy drugs. I spent a lot of money on drugs. Like if I think of how much money I spent on that, it really makes me mad, you know, but not anymore. Like I've learned to just move on and just grieve that, leaving my pets behind, what happened with BBJ. That's all.
Don't get me started.
Out of my mind now. I've grieved that situation, so that it can't hurt me anymore.
Yeah, but calling your current cat BB Gal, I can't even pronounce it the way she does. That's just sick.
You know what I mean? To me,
it's like she doesn't want to let go of the past.
Already gone. She's already, you know what I mean? Like that's it. She's already buried for me. I know.
That is such a sad thing to say.
Oh, Sam is okay. I get regular updates about him. So that's not really hurting me. I know he's in a really good place right now. But like the BBJ thing, it's out of my hands. It's something that I've come to terms with. And, you know, there's somebody who did that, who like took her.
Okay, but what I would like to know is, have you forgiven yourself? I mean, did she ever reach the point where she would admit to treating BBJ wrongly? You know, not appropriately? Did she ever get to that point? I'm not watching every one of her videos, not at all. Like here and there I pop in and I check what she's doing. But I never heard her say, okay, so maybe I dropped the ball on this, and that concerning my pets, and that was a mistake, and I would like to move on, and so I'm forgiving myself. I hope you guys can find it in yourself to forgive me too. You know, I wonder if she ever said anything like it, because right now it just sounds like she's trying to brush it off and not take accountability for her actions.
So they could use her for clout, and they can use her to like dig it into me, you know, like I have your cat, and you can make all the calendars you want, you can make all the merch you want. I'm not letting it affect me, and it's done for me, you know.
It doesn't sound like it, and it doesn't come off that way right now.
So that past is gone for me. Like that whole abusive situation, I'm done abusing myself financially. I'm done wasting money. I'm
Okay, but you gotta look at how much money you spend on food. And if you then compare it to somebody that eats normal portions and doesn't eat all day or several main meals, what any one of us out here or most of us would consider a full meal. You can't eat several meals a day. I mean, that's gonna cost a fortune.
done being materialistic, and I'm done with so many things about my past that I don't miss. And I think in that way, I've matured a lot. I have different priorities in life. I really want to just start really working on my health a lot more because
So when are you gonna start though? You said you have diabetes and then you showed how much you ate in one day and I physically got sick reacting to it. And since then, the portions, like that one, what did she say? From a health center, she got that meal, and it was 4 meals again. It was 4 containers, and I'm like, holy smokes! I would eat on that for 2 days, and that is one of her meals, and that's from a health center or what was it? Diet center. I can't remember what she said.
I've gotten to a point where my whole life I just thought, oh, I have another day, I have another day, I have another day to neglect it. And here I am with all these health issues that in my mind, in the back of my mind, knew that I was at high risk of, and I was just in denial.
Yeah, but again, because you've been diagnosed with diabetes, and it's the same with Amber. You guys come on camera and talk about this and say, I'm gonna change my life around. I'm gonna do this, this, and that, and then a few videos later, we see you do the same things that you did before that got you to that point. And so eventually, you're gonna have to realize people don't buy it anymore. Because you can only fool them a certain amount of times before they say, yeah, she lies nonstop.
I don't miss.
It's like that's what hit me. One of the last vlogs, when she says, I just like to come on and have dinner with you guys, and it's not about the eating, it's about talking to you. And then she barely said anything, and she kept smearing food all over her mouth, and it's just disgusting. Come out and say, look, I have no other qualifications, or even if I did, or I do, but I don't want to use them because I'm much too lazy and my butt hurts when I sit too long. I can't stand for too long. I can't focus on anything for too long. I just can't get a normal job out here. And so I'm going to have to hold on to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to eat on camera as much as I can because that gets me more views than when I just sit here and talk about bullshit because everybody knows I lie. But if you were being authentic about it, then people wouldn't hate on you so much and they wouldn't leave your channel. But you and Amber both, I mean, you've alienated your audiences by lying and by monetizing your food addiction and just lying again and again and again, messing with your scales and committing fraud that way in my books, yeah.
Those behaviors of, dancing around half nude, all of that stuff, I find that, I have a different opinion on that. I have more self-respect in that way.
Yeah, but you can expect for people to all of a sudden have respect for you when up to recently you've been disrespecting yourself. I mean, just the amounts of food you shoveled in Thailand. All these looks from Asian people that are not accustomed to seeing people your size. Did they not do anything to you? Did they not wake you up to some degree? Because I figured in Thailand it would hit her, holy smokes, I'm like 4 or 5 times the size of these people. And maybe it's time to stop the gluttony.
I feel better covered. I feel like I'm respecting my body, like I'm respecting my femininity, my sexuality. and it's only for one person. One person.
Femininity. She's sitting on, not right now, but in a lot of her videos, she's sitting on the floor with her legs spread apart in a 45-degree angle. That is not ladylike. That is not self-respect. That is just cringy.
Person who respects me and loves me. It's the only person who deserves to see that side of me. And before I know.
Okay, but about that, somebody that loves you, do you ever watch back the videos with Salah when you guys have physical contact? I mean, even in his voice, he sounds like everything is scripted. And I don't think it's so much because of his accent. It's because of, you know, the way his voice comes across, the way he sounds. And when he touches you again, it looks like it's like a brother touching his sister, like being, not even that. I mean, in Germany and in the States, I know that for sure. It would be more heartfelt, like, hey, come here, you give me a hug, right? But Salah treats her like, I don't know, like a stranger. It's weird.
I never thought that. I just used to think any attention from any male is good attention. You know?
Yeah, and I'm thinking you still haven't dropped that because there is something, I don't know, strange about how you and your husband interact, and I don't know, maybe you still have the same problem.
No. I used to think it was like a win to get as much male attention looking at me as possible. And now I feel like guarded. I feel like, no, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve that piece of me. The only person who deserves that is my husband, because he loves me, he respects me, he provides for me, he's my protector, and he's the only person that deserves to see that.
Yeah, okay, but still in that, what was it? I can't remember what it was called, that boat-like thing in Thailand. You were sitting there with your legs spread apart. I'm aware of the fact that you were wearing pants and that no stranger could have seen anything, but just sitting there like that. You can't even sit like a lady, you know, like somebody with grace. You can't. You're sitting there like, you know, with your legs spread apart. That is, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
You put a ring on it, he gets to see that and experience that side of me. Everyone has an intimate, private side, and it's not just about how you look, about how thin you are. It's about the chemistry and the relationship.
Exactly. And you and Salah have zero, zilch, nada, null chemistry
That you have with somebody. It's about that intimacy between two people. And that you could be with the most gorgeous person and not have that with someone, you know?
Exactly. I find Salah very attractive as a man, but you guys have no chemistry.
So I think that that's also very important for me, having learned those values in Islam, to respect myself, you know, like.
Okay, and you consider it respecting yourself sitting there with your legs spread apart, shoveling the food into your mouth? And posting that on the internet, I mean, doing it, period, would be bad enough. And your husband knowing that you treat your body like that. But calling that your job? I don't know. And letting, you know, thousands of people see it. I don't know if I would consider that self-respect.
You know, Allah has, you know, kind of, I hate to say ordered, but, you know, has asked women to cover themselves with hijab, and that's to protect their sexuality, to protect from the eyes of everyone else, to protect, to save it just for one person, because a woman's beauty is very special in Islam. So when I hear people say I miss the old you, the funny you, some people just miss me dressing up and doing skits and things like that. Yeah, I can understand. That was fun. That's fine. I could even maybe still do those things, but I guess I just don't really feel up to it these days. I feel more like sharing, maybe my trying to get well, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, why don't you try that for once? The same goes for Amber. You've tried everything else. You've embarrassed yourself so many countless times. You've monetized horrific things that I would have never put on the internet, let alone do them off camera. And yeah, maybe, for once, really change and put the work in and allow for your audience to see the success and not the continued gaining of weight.
Things I cook, and just talking like this for now, you know. So I do want to get out more and show you guys more of Kuwait, and I want to plan our next travel together, and I
Plan our next travel together? You're not gonna let anybody know where you're gonna go until you're there. What are you talking about right now?
I kind of want to get back to writing, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I used to just like to write little stupid stories, like even though they were bad. But I mean like more like nonfiction kind of.
Yeah, then try that. Anything but what you've been doing. I know you and Amber have been trying to recreate the success you used to have on your channels, but that ain't happening with the old actions anymore.
Thing. Because everyone's life is a story. Everyone could write a story on their life, you know?
Yeah, they could, but most of us don't document it on the internet.
But anyway, I'm more at peace now, and I'm a lot happier.
If that is true, and I don't think it is, because in that live stream that you did, where the entire time she was complaining about how much she hates her current life, and how she misses the things she cannot do. It didn't sound like she was happy, and it came across that she was being truthful. And right now she's trying to put up that front again that she is happy.
And that's the one thing that keeps me wanting to go back to Canada, is that I don't miss my past. I was very anxious to get the heck out of there and away from that life as fast as possible. And it doesn't mean that it hasn't followed me.
Yeah, that would have been my next sentence. That you had a brand new start, just like Amber just did, by moving to Oklahoma, and you're repeating the same patterns. You have changed your way of dressing, for religious reasons, but you're still shoveling in the food. You're still abusing your body. You have gained a significant amount of weight in Kuwait, and I don't get that. Like, I thought you would drop everything, like the drugs, the alcohol. Now you're smoking shisha, you're smoking cigarettes, you're still eating unhealthy foods. I mean, once in a while or once a week it would be fine, but not every single day, several meals. Fast food, greasy food, salt-laden food, you know?
You've seen me freak out once or twice. I've been in a grieving state, you know, and the transition wasn't immediate. It's not like I moved here, took my shahada, and all my problems went away, my personality problems. No, I still was getting provoked into being angry, and I was still saying things that were hurtful to other people, which I've repented for, and I do feel bad for. I don't like to sink to that level. You know, I'm getting up there in age, and I think that the most important thing in life.
Wait, she sounds like she hasn't ranted or treated people in a mean way for ages. Didn't she just have another rage rant on her community tab? Who was talking about that? I can't remember. One of the reaction channels.
Is really to just try to be the person that you wish other people would be towards you, you know?
Exactly. And would you want for people to deceive you like you deceive your audience on your channel?
Golden rule in Christianity, well, it applies to to most religions, and it just applies to a basic human level, even if you're not religious.
Yeah, then maybe you and Amber should stop lying so much.
So I really want to just keep that up, keep my life as drama-free as possible, because I really think that that contributes to a lot of mental illness, to a lot of illness in general. It brings down your aura. It just makes you feel like crap, makes you angry.
Brings down your aura. Another one that doesn't know what an aura is, just like Amber doesn't.
Makes you in a bad mood, and it's not productive to just sit there and talk about other people or to worry about what other people are thinking about you, you know.
No, but then again, if all you ever do all day is sit there and stuff your face, then all these toxins will worsen your mental health and your symptoms. And you and Amber do not get that, you know. Or drink plenty of water that will make your mental clarity a little better, even though I think with the toxins they both ingest, there's no hope for that happening.
It just doesn't pay in any way. So
And stay off your community posts, the tab.
no matter how much you miss that old me, how many people still watch my old videos, how many people still review my old videos, how many people...
Oh, so you still have them up. See, I didn't know that. You still have them up. You're still living off of the money from these videos where you did and said things that you no longer stand behind. That is interesting. That is very interesting.
Still live in my past on the internet. I don't, and that's the most important thing.
Okay, but you live off of the money, and energy is attached to everything. And so if you get views on your videos where you did and said things that you no longer stand behind, that energy from then, the negative energy from doing drugs, being abused, or accusing somebody of abusing you, abusing your pets and documenting it, if you're still getting money from that, that money has bad energy attached to it. Which might explain why she took all of her, or brought all of her problems with her from Canada.
That's the only relevant thing, is where I am, where I'm at. I'm here in the present with my...
Okay, then how about you delete those videos that you no longer stand behind, though?
Husband in another country, living in another country with a completely different outlook on life and new values.
Okay, but the values you apparently didn't have when you lived in Canada. Then delete those videos and don't, make money off of them anymore.
And waking up to get high every day and mask things that were eating away at my soul is not where I want to be ever again. I'm in a new chapter of my life. It was a bit of a hard transition sometimes because, like I said, learning things and learning to use those things and just grieving a past, grieving things. I have a lot of things to grieve in my life, still grieving my grandmother. Like I said, my pets, because whether you believe it or not, they were a big part of my life. And, I made the decision I thought was right, the best decision. But I've learned to grieve that.
No, it sounds like she's lying to herself. It sounds like, I hope there's nobody here that just watches Chantal and doesn't know who I'm talking about when I say Amber. But these two sometimes sound like they want to detach from their past. And they wished we did. But then they should delete those videos where they no longer stand behind what they said and what they did, right? And I believe they have zero closure. She is constantly talking about her life in Canada, and okay, I get it. She wants to address it for her audience right now. Maybe there's a whole bunch of people that wish she would go back to her old ways because that was way more entertaining. I get that. But it doesn't sound like she's had any closure, and she's still trapped in her past.
I think I'm getting to a point where I am accepting that that part of my life is just gone, and learning to clean up a lot of the damage, emotional, financial, everything that's come along with living that life for so long, you know?
Okay, but then you gotta do it with your audience too, because that's a very important part of your life. Because if you don't have an audience, you have no income.
And that's it. Even people admit it. That's why you liked to watch me back then. I was a train wreck, you know, but it's someone's life. This is my real life. It's not just entertainment. And it's realistically, it's, you know, it's not scripted, so it's not going to stay messy.
Okay, but you keep turning in circles, you and Amber both. And so you're still a train wreck, make no mistake about it. You can put the hijab, whatever, on all you want. You can pretend to be praying, but I don't see any enlightenment or any significant change, um, because you are you not supposed to treat your body like a temple and respect it, and you don't do that. You know, you monetize smearing food all over your mouth and dripping food on your clothes and not even acknowledging it. I mean, you know.
If I want to have a good quality of life, and I do. So
Okay, then maybe less talk and more actions. The same for Amber, for both of you. You know, you always talk a big game and then nothing changes.
you know, um, my life might seem a bit more boring. If you were in it for the drama, of course it's going to be a lot more boring. But
But yeah, but the drama is still that you lie to people. Like you're gonna change things around, you're gonna change your life for the better, and then you don't. And that is still drama. That is still the train wreck aspect of you and Amber.
boring is peace for me, and I like that. So yeah, when I hear that, what happened to you? What happened to me? Well, a lot has happened to me. A lot has happened to me, and it's been a ride.
And not even a husband that you claim to love so much, that looks out for you so much, has gotten you to respect your body to where you're not actively killing yourself on your channel
But
and trying to monetize it. That's always the part that I can never accept. Because, there are people out there with jobs, that actually put in work, and these women don't. They have a food addiction. It's like a heroin addict sitting there shooting up and wants to get paid for it so that he can afford his next shot. I mean, come on.
I really think I've found nobody's perfect, but I'd say perfect for me, partner in Salah. And
Okay, but he still didn't motivate you to change anything for the better in your life, though. At least it doesn't appear that way.
there's so much I love about being in Kuwait in the Middle East.
What's that? Is it the heat? Is it the fact that you can't walk around? Or that the fitness center is too far away? Or what is it really that you love? Or the fact that you have no windows in your apartment? Give some examples.
Living wise,
Okay, give examples.
than when I was living in Canada. And there are things I miss, of course.
See, they're always being vague because they don't know what the F they're talking about.
Friends, family, stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Okay.
But inshallah I will see them again one day. So yeah. Even if I did go back to Canada, I would not be the same. Even when I went back last time, I wasn't really, I didn't do a lot of the things I used to do, but I don't know that I would even go live all the time. I would probably just make videos. Or maybe not even tell you guys, maybe just go and just take a break from the internet. I don't know.
Because you can afford it, we know.
But I definitely, even though I struggle sometimes with some changes, overall I do enjoy more being here in
What is it that you enjoy about living in Kuwait so much?
this life. And there are things happening to my personality, I think it's just like, I think this is my normal personality when I'm not trying to put on a show and be silly and make you guys laugh, you know.
Oh, okay. That's the person that's sitting on the floor shoveling in the food, saying that she enjoys talking to us but doesn't have anything to say. That is the new you. Okay, that's good to know.
Naturally, I'm kind of funny person. Like, I'm a bit silly in my personality naturally. But as you grow older, I think that just dims down a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe it's because you've gained so much weight that your body is busy just with everyday tasks like staying awake for longer than 4 hours, you know, without having to take a nap.
Not forcing anything. This is just how I've been. I'm not trying to put on a special persona to seem more angelic or anything like that. This is just, I'm more calm, I'm more at peace, and I'm not just how I'm acting naturally, you know. So
You know, you guys, we have so many Muslims in Germany, and I've never seen one as disgraceful as she is. I see them downtown every single day. They move with grace, you know. They don't constantly pick at their hijab either, you know. And none of them are as big as she is.
anyways, guys, I think that's it for this video. I just wanted to talk a little bit, and
Sure.
I will make more videos like this in the future, inshallah. But anyway,
Yeah, maybe you can go into detail a little more, being a little vague there. Honey bun, sweetie pie.
I wish you all a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye bye. I almost said Amber. Same shit, different channel. Just blah, 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 blah. Empty words, no actions behind it. And yeah, it's all for the views. And you better believe it, they're going to crank out the videos like there's no tomorrow because they need the dough. Check their social blades. Holy smokes. I don't know how they can still smile on their channels. My ass water would be boiling. Okay, I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.